Episode 11 is one of the most intense episodes of the season, combining survival, emotional conflict, and shocking revelations into one powerful story. The episode follows Kayce and Cal as they transport escaped prisoner Neil Lamb through a brutal snowstorm in the mountains. But what begins as a simple prisoner transfer quickly turns into a deadly fight for survival. The story picks up immediately after the events of Episode 10. Kayce has already captured Neil Lamb, but the situation is far more complicated than it seems. Neil is not just another criminal on the run. He knows dangerous secrets connected to the Dutton family. Kayce understands how damaging that information could become if it ever gets exposed, and early in the episode it becomes obvious that he is considering getting rid of Neil permanently before those secrets come out. Before Kayce can act, Cal suddenly arrives, forcing the mission to continue differently than planned. Now the three men must travel together through the freezing mountains, while a violent snowstorm grows stronger around them. From the beginning, the atmosphere feels tense and uncomfortable. Nobody trusts each other, and every conversation feels like it could explode into violence at any moment. As they move deeper into the wilderness, the weather becomes more dangerous. Snow blocks their path, visibility drops, and the freezing temperatures make survival difficult. Cal accidentally leads them off course while trying to navigate through the storm, leaving the group stranded in the mountains with nowhere safe to go. Eventually, they discover an abandoned cabin hidden deep in the snow. The cabin is old and barely standing, but it becomes their only chance of surviving the night. They move inside, hoping to wait until the storm calms down. However, the cabin quickly becomes a prison filled with tension and emotional conflict. Neil spends most of the night provoking both Marshals, especially Kayce. Instead of acting afraid, he constantly pushes Kayce's emotions, clearly aware that he has information powerful enough to threaten him. Neil begins exposing dark secrets connected to the Dutton family and eventually mentions the mysterious train station, a place where enemies are supposedly taken to disappear forever. The moment Neil mentions it, the mood inside the cabin completely changes. Cal is shocked because he realizes Neil is not lying about everything. He starts questioning how much Kayce has been hiding over the years. For a long time, Cal believed he truly understood Kayce, but now he begins seeing a darker side of him connected to the Dutton family secrets. Kayce refuses to explain much, but his reactions make it obvious there is truth behind Neil's accusations. This creates even more tension between the two Marshals as old trust slowly begins falling apart. At the same time, the episode includes emotional flashbacks to Afghanistan in 2015. These scenes finally reveal the truth about what happened to their former teammate Roner during a military mission years earlier. During the flashbacks, viewers learn that Roner became trapped behind enemy lines during a dangerous operation. Communication failed, and Garrett informed Cal that Roner was already dead. Believing there was no chance to save him, Cal ordered the team to retreat before more soldiers were killed. But later they discovered something devastating. Roner had actually still been alive when they left. Kayce never forgave Cal for that decision. Deep down, he blamed him for abandoning one of their brothers. Even though Cal believed he was doing the right thing at the time, the guilt has haunted him ever since. These flashbacks help explain why there has always been tension between Kayce and Cal. The storm in the present forces them to confront years of buried anger and pain that they never fully dealt with. As the night continues, the situation grows even worse. Supplies are running low, temperatures keep dropping, and the storm outside becomes more violent. Then disaster strikes. While searching for firewood outside the cabin, Cal suddenly falls through thin ice into freezing water beneath the snow. The scene is terrifying because within seconds he begins losing strength from the cold. Kayce rushes to save him before the icy water pulls him under completely. Together, Kayce and Neil manage to drag Cal back to the cabin, but by then he is already suffering from severe hypothermia. His body shakes uncontrollably, and he slowly begins losing consciousness. For the first time in the episode, Kayce and Neil are forced to work together. Despite being enemies, both men try desperately to keep Cal alive long enough to survive the storm. They build a fire, warm him up, and fight to stop his condition from getting worse. These scenes are some of the most emotional moments in the episode because survival temporarily becomes more important than hatred. As Cal slowly recovers, He and Kayce finally confront the truth about their past. Kayce admits how much anger he carried after Roner's death, while Cal explains that he truly believed Roner was already gone during the mission. The conversation is painful but important because it finally allows both men to speak honestly after years of silence. But peace inside the cabin does not last long. Neil eventually sees an opportunity to escape. As the storm begins calming slightly, he suddenly attacks and runs toward the frozen lake outside. Kayce and Cal chase after him, leading to a violent struggle on the ice. The fight becomes chaotic as snow blows around them and the frozen surface begins cracking beneath their feet. Then everything changes instantly. Neil suddenly crashes through the ice and disappears into the freezing water below. Kayce and Cal try to locate him, but the dark water swallows him completely. The show never directly confirms his death, but blood spreading beneath the ice strongly suggests he did not survive. After enduring the storm and nearly dying in the mountains, Kayce and Cal finally return home together. The experience changes both men deeply, forcing them to rebuild the friendship that had been damaged for years. However, the episode saves its most emotional moment for the ending. When they arrive at the hospital, they discover Garrett has died from his injuries. The news completely destroys them. Garrett was more than just a teammate. He was part of their brotherhood and shared history. Losing him feels like losing the